small town in Ireland. We have enjoyed our breakfast and we are now headed to the cliffs of Moher. I think we have just been told by our waitress how to hopefully pronounce it properly because there's some debate. Some say Moher, some say Moher, but I think Moher is the most correct.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments.
Yes. So from here it's about a 15-minute drive, so off we go. Got our tickets for the experience. It's 15 euros per adult. Now we're here. Let's go into the experience. Here you have the main viewpoint, but just down here, this big island that you see jutting out here is home to a whole host of seabirds, including a pretty large colony of puffins. And you can see them flying around here. A pretty cool added extra. Said to be formed over 300 million years ago, the ancient limestone faces of the cliffs of Moher plunge about 700 feet into the churning waves below. Named after a fort that once sat atop the cliffs, this breathtaking landscape stretches for about 14 kilometers along Ireland's rugged western coastline, offering sweeping panoramic views of nearby Aran Islands and Mormturk Mountains on a clear day.
The cliffs themselves are a symphony of textures and colors, layers of sedimentary rock in gray and ochre, carved by wind and sea over millennia. They are home to thousands of other nesting seabirds besides the aforementioned puffins. Tufts of wildflowers cling stubbornly to the cliffside, adding beautiful patches of color to the greenery that blanket the cliff tops and surrounding landscape. We are now back at the visitor center, so because of the intense weather conditions, just make sure that if you have long hair to bring a hair tie or a hat and wear the appropriate clothing like a rain jacket or a windbreaker. Because of the weather, unfortunately the coastal walk is closed for safety reasons, but you can still do these two trails for incredible sweeping views. And now that we're back here, we're going to enjoy the visitor center. Cliffs of Moher and driving to a new country of Northern Ireland. I think the trip is going to take about 6 hours. However, I'm sure it will actually take longer by the time we add in stops. So Nick is going to do all the driving. He's been amazing this entire trip. And
second that.
Here we go. What did everyone think of the Cliffs of Moher, Mom? What did you think?
Wow, amazing.
Very
windy.
Nice. It was super windy. Uncle Mike, any comments on the Cliffs of Moher?
High.
High, okay.
H-I-G-H.
So 3 descriptors. Windy.
Windy. Cool.
Wow, cool, and high.
Rugged.
Rugged, ooh, even more adjectives.
Ancient.
Ancient, yes.
Definitely.
Turn right onto Ballard Road.
We'll see you guys later.
R470.
7-hour drive, we have now arrived to our Airbnb here in Bushmills. We have just dropped off our stuff because it is nearly 7 p.m. and we are starving, so we're gonna head right out to dinner. But I know a lot of people ask how much things cost, and this one was $489 for 2 nights. I'm so sorry. I have had a major vlogging fail and I completely forgot to film dinner.
However, just because actually in the town of Bushmills there's a bunch of stuff that's closed on a Tuesday, we ended up going to a fish and chip shop, ended up having an amazing fish and chip supper, and we brought that over to a nearby pub that doesn't have a kitchen, but they allow outside food. So the upshot of that is we had fish and chips with a pint, and it was just lovely. But now we are going to turn in, but tomorrow we've got something really, really cool planned. Very, very excited to check it out.
Good morning from Giant's Causeway.
We are here. It is actually part of a National Trust property. So if you actually have a National Trust membership, then you can get in here for free. For those of us who don't, and that includes all of us, then depending on the time of year, it can either be £15 or £17 for entry. It's best to book ahead of time, and you can do that all online. And what it includes is access to all of this. You can either go by bus, which costs you an extra £1 per way to take you up and down. It gives you access to all the walking trails here and a nifty free audio guide to help illustrate exactly what you're seeing. It also throws in parking, and you also get this nifty map to show you exactly where you're going.
So what we're planning on doing today is taking this blue route to here, joining up with the red route for the rest of the coastline, and then just retracing our steps back to the visitor center. Are you ready, guys?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Walk. The Giant's Causeway is a breathtaking mosaic of about 40,000 interlocking basalt columns. Most of the columns are hexagonal in shape, the tallest of which are 12 meters high. Standing atop the cliffs that cradle the Giant's Causeway, there are sweeping views of the Irish Sea, the body of water that, when traversed, would take you to Great Britain.
This otherworldly landscape was forged some 50 to 60 million years ago during a period of intense volcanic activity. As molten basalt surged through fissures in the Earth's crust and cooled rapidly at the surface, it contracted and cracked in a distinctive hexagonal pattern. Over time, wind, water, and ice sculpted the columns, revealing the dramatic formation seen today.
Local legend speaks of the giant Finn MacCool, a mythical Irish warrior, who built the causeway as a bridge to Scotland to challenge his rival, the giant Benandonna. Upon seeing the enormous Scottish giant, Finn fled back to Ireland, where his clever wife disguised him as a baby. When Benandonna saw the infant, he imagined the size of the father and fled in terror, tearing up the causeway behind him.
We've just finished our time here at Giant's Causeway, and we're going to go around asking everyone what they thought about their experience. So Auntie Linda, what did you think?
Oh, it was beautiful. Like I've never seen anything like it in the world. And we've seen the rugged coasts of Newfoundland, and they just don't compare.
Really amazing. Mom, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I was interested in the fact that there were two different rugged sides to the experience. I'd like more information about it because it's so interesting and the different sides of the hill.
With the history and everything too.
History,
yeah. And Nick, what was your experience?
Breathtaking. I've been wanting to come to the Giant's Causeway since I can remember, since I even first heard about it. And so having the opportunity to come here and getting to experience it firsthand is pretty much everything I could have hoped for and more. This was well worth it.
And Uncle Mike, what did you think of Giant's Causeway?
I thought I'd be able to get down, do the round trip up and down, or down and up. Down was easy, up was hard, because I took the bus. But I loved it. The rock formations are unbelievable.
Well, it sounds like everyone liked it. I too really enjoyed myself. I hate to compare places, but I think your mind naturally does. And both Cliffs of Moher and this were beautiful, but I think I prefer this, slightly edging Cliffs of Moher out of place, but highly recommend coming here. Now we are off to lunch. Let's hope I remember to film it this time, guys.
We are now back from what ended up being an absolutely delicious lunch. We ended up having what is referred to locally as an Ulster Fry, which is basically kind of like an Irish breakfast with a twist. So what we had consisted of bacon, eggs, sausages, potato bread, and soda bread. And honestly, as a combination, there are a few things finer on a plate. Very, very good indeed. But now we've just come back for a brief break, and now we're going to move on to the second part of our day, which is heading to the famous Bushmills whiskey distillery. Let's go. Tickets for the tour of Bushmills Distillery. Tickets cost £15, and generally speaking it's a good idea to book in advance because these do sell out very, very quickly.
Nick and Rachel from the future here. Unfortunately, we couldn't film on the tour.
Okay, fine, I'm cool, I'm fine.
So we thought we'd give you a little rundown about what we learned. The first thing that we learned is that Bushmills was established in 1608, and it is the oldest licensed whiskey distillery in the entire world.
In order to make whiskey, you simply need 3 ingredients: barley, yeast, and water.
The first 3 processes are mashing, fermenting, and distilling, and together they actually only take 3 days.
During the distillation process, then essentially the entire mixture is put into these copper pots. Now, the difference, generally speaking, between a Scotch and an Irish whiskey is that this distillation process, whereby the alcohol is boiled off and then reintroduced into the mixture, is done twice for a Scotch, but 3 times for an Irish whiskey.
The final process is aging, and that is when the whiskey is put into oak barrels that have previously been used to house sherry, port, bourbon, and a bunch of other alcohols, and it has to stay in those barrels for a minimum of 3 years, but I think they said the oldest one they have here is 46 years old.
Other woods are also available and have been used, but they are far less common, and so therefore they are equally as rare as the more aged whiskies that you can find in most shops.
Now let's go taste some whiskey.
Okay, so now that we are through the tour experience, the final part is the tasting. So what you have here is an option on 3 different whiskies available. So you have Blackbush, 10-year, and 12-year. Each of which has a slightly different set of tasting notes, and we're very excited to try them all.
Smooth.
which one did you just try?
12 year. Absolutely delicious. Very smooth, quite light and sweet. I'm not sure if you can necessarily call whiskey refreshing, but actually that was just very, very lovely. Quite a light flavour in comparison to a lot of scotches, which are quite peaty, a little bit heavier. Really very nice.
And which one are you drinking, Uncle Mike?
The 10-year-old.
And what do you think?
I'm not a Scotch drinker by choice, but the one thing I like about it is that it doesn't catch in your throat like some alcohols, or especially the rye can do that. So it goes down smoothly. I wouldn't, like those guys did in the Old West, I couldn't take a shot back. It's a sipping whiskey. I call it a sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
We're just leaving Bushmills Whiskey Distillery now, but we don't have anything else planned for today, so we will pick this vlog back up tomorrow.
This has been an absolutely awesome couple of days, but it really is time to go. So until next time, take care.
And keep smiling.